incognito.
They are.
You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Call to order, roll call, and establish a quorum for the City of Perkins regular meeting Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 at 6 p.m.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Pray with me, please. Father, we just come to you tonight and we pray your guidance over our decisions. I pray that you would bless us with wisdom. I pray that this city would know that we're doing the best that we can to make sure they have a good quality of life in our community. Thank you for our guests here tonight. And as always, I pray that you protect our fire and our police and our city staff. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Item agenda number 3. Our Pledge of Allegiance is going to be led by a couple of guests tonight, Maverick and Matthew Holt. Come forth. Maverick and Matthew are 2 of my students in the 4th grade at Perkins Tryon Intermediate. They're kind of famous around here. I promised them that I would help them. Especially you. Come on over here. It's good to see you walking tonight. Who's here? Come on over here. Are you ready? Now put your hand over your heart. Right there. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I salute
The flag of state of Oklahoma. Wow.
Mayor, could we get a picture by the flags?
Bus road in front. Oh, I told you. Come on. Would you like the chief of police to be in the picture?
Absolutely, I do.
That bump just hit another bump. That bus just
Twice. I'm on the road. Maverick and I playing that.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Good to meet you, buddy.
Come see me, Mav. Okay. Hey, come here. Mav.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for indulging our students that get to come in and be a part of what goes on in the city.
Do you want to adjourn this meeting and go to the other one for bid opening?
Is it on this one?
It's on this one.
Oh, it is. Do you want to go? Sorry, that's his fault. Skip forward to number 7,
Do we want to go to the consent agenda
You want
first?
to get through the consent agenda first?
if you want.
Okay. All right, number 4. Consideration action on consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna skip over 6 briefly, and we're gonna move to number 7. Bid opening for the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Lift Station Project, as described in the bid plans and specification provided by Cohen Group Engineering, to be funded by the American Rescue Act Plan funds through the Oklahoma Water Resources Board and matching funds by the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma. That would be Bob, and then the Cohen Group Engineering.
Do you want to introduce yourself and
Yes.
where you're from?
Yes, my name is Derek Nguyen. I'm with Cowan Group Engineering. Michael couldn't be here tonight. He's down in Altus, and so I'm stepping in for him. So I'm not really his right hand man. I'm his left hand man. So.
So you gave me 3 bids, correct?
I did.
Okay. No one's gonna have to open the door. Okay. This bid is from Or Construction out of Davenport, Oklahoma. You ready? Let's go to the back page. Looking for the number. Here we go. Total base bid. $1,209,747.
Can you say that again, please, Mayor? Will you read that again, please?
Yes, $1,209,747.00. And it's itemized, listed for the IoT Perkins lift station.
Or construction. Is there any add alternates or anything? There's not. Okay.
There's not any on here. Would you like this paperwork, Mr. Ernst,
Yeah.
to keep it all separate? It is itemized. Thank you, sir. The next one is from Crossfire Construction out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, received December 10th. Thank you for writing that out. You ready?
Yes.
Total base bid, $557,895.00. With itemized as well.
Can you say that number again?
Yes. $557,895.00. Did I get it? Did I mess up?
No.
I didn't know it. We gotta be serious. Here you go, Bob. Thank you. And the final one is out of Circle B Underground, Bristow, Oklahoma. Excuse me. The base bid for this one is $2,308,689.00. Okay? $2,308,689.00. You said there's no add alternates on these? Right. Okay, thank you. We'll clarify now. Chunk of change. Bob,
Yeah.
could you, before we move forward, could you tell us the next step on that?
So what we'll do is, we'll send the bids, the bids are received on time and complete to Cowan Engineering, and they'll do a bid tabulation, look through everything, evaluate the bids, and report back to you on January 14th, the next regular meeting.
Sounds good. It's 2025. So, Timmy, on this, there's, we close that out. There's not a motion, is there?
No, you just can move on.
Okay. Hey, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, we're gonna hop back to number 6. Consideration and discussion regarding sewer service to the Golden Creek development west of Perkins city limits near the intersection of Highway 33 and South Perkins Road. Mr. Ernst?
Harlan Wells and Mr. Collum are here to discuss their possible development called Golden Creek. It's located south of Ampride and west of South Perkins Road, approximately 80 acres. 80? And then I think they have a presentation. You received information in your packets prior to the meetings that was submitted by them. If one of you wants to get up and go to the podium and give your name and address.
Well, thank you. This development's a little different in that it's in the Rural Water District 3's territory. So by federal legislation, they will be serving water there. And I don't think there's anything can be done about that unless they would agree to give it up. And in our discussions with them, they wouldn't. So that would be different from a development in the city limits where the city could serve water too. So that's the basic difference. And what we've done, we've bought the property, the columns, and I don't know if you all are you acquainted with the Cullens? Do you know who they are?
Yes.
I see familiar faces.
Well, why don't you give them a little bit about your company?
So we're,
Can you state your name and your address?
my name's Brad Collins, address 212 West 116th Perkins. My brothers and I took the opportunity to invest in this property with Harlan, to develop it. I see familiar faces. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. Longtime resident, my brothers and I were born and raised here. In 2009, we had an opportunity to start a family-owned business with our father and our uncle. 15 years ago, we're in the oil and natural gas business. One of our businesses based out of Cushing, another trucking company based out of Perkins here. We office out of Perkins, just west of Ampride on the north side. It was the old Rains and Son property. We purchased that and moved our operation and our office into Perkins. We've got probably 40 employees that work out of Perkins, and then we've got other employees that work in different regions in our trucking company. But moved our office building into Perkins in 2021. So anyway, had the opportunity to invest in this land with Harlan for future development. And Harlan spoke to the difference on this development and others, that he's been involved with is the dynamic with the rural water, working with the city, rural water to supply the water, and then we're looking to the city to supply sanitary sewer services, trash, things of that nature that the city provides. We want to do everything we can to help work out an opportunity for the city to work with the rural water, however best fits the city to do that. So we've had a few meetings discussing that. And those are I guess, two of the things that we need to overcome right now is, can the city and the rural water work together on this? And can the city determine a location for us to install, the lift station you guys just talked about? We'll have to install our own. Is there a location that we can pinpoint where the city could take our volumes? I think in your packet, you had some volumes that we put together. Looks like this. And these are just volumes based on average use for single-family homes. And those volumes, we don't know, the city would know those volumes better than us, what an average family home would be, a single-family home would be. It's something we put together. I don't think it's far off, but it probably needs fine-tuned based on what the city knows. Also on that sheet, we kind of put a little bit of revenue that we think that number of homes could generate in the city based on the services provided. So again, those probably need fine-tuned for what actually you see in the city. But those are the type of volumes that we think we're associating with our development and the capacity that we might need for the city to service.
I might mention to you that I've been developing here for over 50 years, residential and commercial. And I'm 84. This is probably my last hurrah, and I think we're lucky to have some people like the Cullums, the three Cullum brothers, that would like to invest in another business, and that would be residential and commercial development. So,
I think for an outline, we put together a letter that kind of summarizes our development. Right now we're in preliminary design stages. We foresee up to 100 single-family homes potentially, and it will be 200. Will be built out in 3 phases, we think. And then there also, as Harlan mentioned, there are opportunities on the highway frontage for commercial development as well, along with this.
do you have any questions for us? To boil it down, rural water will serve the water, and so we need an agreement between the city and rural water on that. Rural water said they're willing to meet with the city and try to work that out. And then we need to know where we pay for the lift pump and a tight line, but we need to know where we could put it in approval from the city. So we can't spend any money developing out there until we resolve those 2 issues. We've bought the land, we've surveyed it, we've done preliminary work, and we really can't go any further until those 2 issues are resolved.
Yeah, and we had the rural water district present a first draft of a potential agreement and got some feedback. I think there needs to be some discussion between the city and the rural water if that, to see if there's a deal that can be made. But there at least has been a first draft of a potential agreement that they were willing to produce. So aside from that, is based on the volumes that we have in our sheet, or the volumes that the city knows to be associated with those types of homes, is there potential for the city to take that on, and where could we connect to the system?
If I may speak just for a moment, I think the issue on where to connect to the system is a little bit bigger issue. I think there's going to have to be a discussion on plant capacity and pump capacity in our existing lift stations, and whether or not anything in the existing or even the lift station we just bid out would need to be upsized, because we obviously have to, let me rephrase it, might be a good idea to plan for further development by the Iowa tribe for the lift station that we're in a partnership with them on financially. And as far as working with the rural water district, there's very open lines of communication between Jim Russell and I, but I think it's a complicated matter. So I think an engineer would have to decide where the lift station went and what pumps, and generally the way that works is that's done by the developer and then we review it. But I think the first, there's also the question on whether or not to annex it. I don't think I heard you say that today, or maybe you did, I don't.
Yeah, we're open to annexation. Obviously, if we knew where we could provide that information to you, if we knew where your lift pump's going to be that you're doing with the Iowa tribe, I think that we can come right up our property line and across Iowa Tribe into that.
Well, the lift pump for the Iowa Tribe that we're putting in partnership with the Iowa Tribe is north of Freeman. I'm gonna estimate 500 feet, maybe 600.
Can we get coordinates for it, where I mean, it's completely on us to develop our site, I 100%
Yeah, we
agree
could,
with that.
our engineer could,
When it comes to your capacity, we just need your help, you know, we're doing everything we can to give you the volumes that we see.
sure.
So from our side, yes, we're responsible for that, but if we could get a coordinate, we could complete our side, and then we'd work with you and your engineers any way we could to figure out the capacity, if there is a capacity issue on the city side, so.
So for us,
Concerned about the,
excuse me,
that's okay. I was trying to form my words. I'm concerned about the stress and the pressure it'll put on already our wastewater treatment plant that we're trying to get back into, you know, really great functioning mode there without, I mean, we've been replacing a lot of pieces and parts, and we still have some more probably we have a lot more to do still, right? I'm concerned that putting that much more on our wastewater treatment plant would be too much stress on it right now. But, so I guess that's my statement, and my question would be, what are your goals looking forward, like timeline, on these things? On the development to even,
I think we would time that. I don't know which lift pump we would go into, but if we knew that.
Well, I think, I mean, if we had an understanding and the city didn't have a volume capacity issue, and that there was a lift station we could tie into, I could foresee a phase one going into effect within the next year, you know, up to 60 homes, you know, and.
well, I mean, our plant is reaching, like, what, it's 20 years old?
It's,
19 years old?
well, yeah, something like that, yeah.
The life of a plant is supposed to be 30? So, I mean, do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, for sure, and I'm not aware, we're not aware of any, I mean, you guys know what the city's dealing with, right? But that's important to us too, we don't wanna overload it, but nobody's been able to tell me what the capacity is, right? And so it's, that's the city's business, you know?
Well, I think there are a couple of other issues that you
There are.
can picture. And the two that are different here is that they're asking for sewer service only from the city. So so you're looking at providing a sewer service without providing the water service, without having the income from the water service.
And we don't get the property taxes either.
Yeah, we wouldn't have,
Our school would benefit.
The income you would have would be from the
Sewer.
sewer fees, which are typically determined by the amount of water that is used. And so that's why there would be, have to be an agreement with the rural water district, where they would have to release this property, which is unlikely. And there is typically a disagreement between a rural water district or corporation about how the bill gets paid. If the homeowner pays the bill, does it get applied to sewer first? Does it get applied to water first? You know, so there are a lot of issues. But the bottom line is that if we are providing sewer only, we can't turn it off. Because if we turn it off, we're gonna back up
Right.
200 homes or 66 or however many. So you take, you're relying upon the water provider to turn the water off so that, you know, in order to get your bill paid, ultimately. So that's one of the issues that comes with providing sewer only. Second, this property's in county, so it's not in the city. So you don't have to develop, you don't have to annex it, it doesn't have to be in the city. But if it's not located in the city, then we don't have the authority to impose our zoning code, our building codes, our development codes, and we kind of have figured out that the county doesn't have much. They don't have a zoning code. Now, that doesn't mean we can't require the developer, as part of a development agreement, to plat and build according to whatever specifications we require. So you may want to do that, because if you leave it in county, the roads they build out there, the streets they build out there won't be yours to maintain. They also won't be yours to make sure that they are maintained. You know, there's this whole, there's a lot of issues there. So this is not a simple thing. One of the things, and here's the other big picture I think you need to look at before you do anything else, is think about, first of all, where is this property located on the comprehensive plan? What is the city expecting to do in that area? I don't know the answer to that. I haven't looked at it. But where is it going to be located on the new comprehensive plan that is well underway? Do we want to annex a housing development that doesn't provide a lot of income? Maybe, maybe not. If there's something over on the other side of it that we may want someday, we may want to annex it so that we can make sure that it, number one, it gets us closer to what we may want someday. And number two, we want to make sure that it's built according to our standards, because it's probably going to be in our city anyway.
There's a
So,
private property, water well, and then personal property in the pecan orchard, I believe. Is that correct, Brad?
I mean, as far as I know, Empride's city limits, right?
Yes.
Been annexed.
Yeah.
You across from that?
Yeah, right across the road.
That's what I thought the map showed.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
And so if you're across the road, there becomes the question of whose road is it? Because it'll be ours if we annex it.
It's across Highway 33.
Across the highway?
It's across Highway 33.
Okay, well, that's okay then. Yeah.
And then
That's
we have a
across the
water,
highway.
we have a water well there, right, Bob?
I'm sorry?
Isn't there a water well there at Emprise?
Yeah, on the north side,
And
yes.
there's private property.
There's which,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
Pecan Grove
There's
lady.
Pecan Grove, and then there's another private property trailer.
So it's just a matter of what your big picture is, whether this is what, you know, this smaller lot homes is what fits into your big picture for development.
And there will be, you know, commercial development out there too, areas for that, you know, so.
How many commercial spots?
How much commercial? We have commercial in the area along the highway there. Yeah.
How many?
I would say right now, in my mind, and again, this is preliminary layout, I'm gonna say there's gonna be room for, I envision is a small commercial business plaza where there's, you know, dining options, maybe storefront options, not unlike, you know, the strip mall look out here. You know, that's kind of our preliminary thought on it. And, you know, if the commercial opportunities present themselves more than that, I think the option's there to grow the commercial also, you know, as we phase it through. But
It looks like you've got this plat all the way of houses all the way up to 33.
yeah, that's a very preliminary plat. I've got one today that shows the commercial, but it's just the frontage up there on Highway 33. You know, all the frontage obviously would be for commercial.
If I might respond, I agree with you that there's two approaches here. It could be platted in the county if there was an agreement and you didn't want it platted in Perkins, or it can be platted in the city of Perkins. We're willing to go whichever way fits the city the best. So, and we do want sewer because access to it, and we'll pay the cost of lift pump.
And as far as the design, I mean, we've discussed this before, that we'll build it to the city specs, right? That's not an issue for us. If you guys are gonna take on, if it makes sense to take on the sewer, we'll build it to the city specs. You know?
And I've read it, but I've read a lot this week.
Sure.
Who would be who would be building the homes?
Well, we'd sell them to whoever wanted to. We do have interest from Rouse Coleman, but Rouse Coleman's been purchased by the second largest home builder in America. And so that's a new development. And of course, most of you know that OnQ's buying Ampride and will be making an investment out there. And so I think they'll be dressing that up and doing a lot of things which will help to bring other businesses here. And
Not to mention what the tribe's doing out there in that area, you know?
We do have the dollar store that's talked about increasing, and that would fit. That's over a mile away from that area, and it would fit. They may be interested. And also, we've communicated with Rob for quite some time, and I think we're on the cusp of getting Brahms to come here. They've laid out a store, how it would lay out, but they haven't, they keep about 70 or 80 locations ahead all the time, and they haven't decided it would come to pass for sure yet, but I think we're getting close. And what happens here, when you build more houses, it causes businesses to want to come here. That's one of the factors. The traffic count and the population of the area is all considered, so it all goes together. And if you get outside the city limits now, anything is served by rural water. That's going to have to be addressed at some point. Rural water has the rights surrounding Perkins. So, and they say they're willing to work on that. So what would be our next step, would you hear?
Well, they'd have to, I mean, at this point, there's no application. So you'd have to apply for sewer service under the ordinance, apply for annexation, because we can only move forward actual applications. So,
Or apply for whatever you want.
or for, yeah, whatever you want.
Can I ask a question? I read through this as well, and I don't remember the lot size, but in regards to sewer, is there room in these plots for an aerobic system? No. Instead of tying into the city aspect?
No, not on that density we want to do. And most builders don't want to do the aerobic system. And what happens, particularly like with Rouse Coleman, they're building affordable housing. And they've found out if you go to half-acre lots, that most of the people that buy it aren't equipped to look after that big of a tract of land. And then the second problem they have, they're not equipped to manage that aerobic system. It takes some maintenance on it. And so most of them their preference is to have city sewer. And I'm talking about like Rouse Coleman and Ideal Homes and companies like that. So their preference is for utilities and not, they've done some half-acre tracts, but
I think maybe to your question, the half-acre tract is DEQ size for a aerobic system, like you're saying.
it has to be a half-acre.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. So if I understand it correctly, we would make an application to you to have it annexed and the other things we want to do.
Do you own this land?
Yes.
Okay, I knew, okay.
We have a LLC, or
Yeah.
the Colin own part of it and I own part of it. So,
Is there anything we can do that you speak to about the rural water? And I agree, it's a relationship that needs to be sorted through. There's, you know, things that, you know, could impact the city if not sorted through. And we kind of started that discussion with the rural water district. I'd like to know if there's anything we can do to help that along. Again, there's been a draft. Maybe we recirculate that draft and you guys, and I know, you know, there's been some comments made on it. Maybe we recirculate it and you guys redline it. You know, if you think that's a good way to start to you know, get that process moving.
Well, I reviewed that.
Mhm.
I've given to Bob, who gave to Harlan like in September.
I did forward
My
that.
response.
I forwarded that to Jim.
And so that seems to be where we might start.
So get
I
it,
didn't know if you were talking to me or her. I couldn't.
either one, yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered internally when she's talking about going to the comprehensive plan and things like that. So I do think the rural water district is willing to negotiate, but, you know, I don't know to what degree.
Well, we'll do what we can.
We don't either.
To address your concerns that you wrote up in it and get it turned back to you guys from the rural water
Yeah,
district.
that'd be fine. Yeah. I mean, it can't hurt.
And then we can reach out to you to maybe get coordinates on a potential spot to connect to the system or wherever.
Well, I'll have to talk to our engineer, and that's, if we have we're gonna start spending money pretty quick when I call engineers. So we'd have to figure some flow and which lift station could take it, because there's one closer. You know, could it handle it without the pumps being upsized or whatever, so.
Are we waiting on a part on that one?
No, that one's fine.
It's fixed, okay.
Well, it was when I came in here, so, but lift stations break a lot.
Well, we appreciate your time on that, and we'll move forward then with an application and working with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't want to grill? Any questions?
Not at the moment.
I think we're just gathering information right now. And
Sure.
learning about it and asking questions and things like that. And, you know, like you said, we're at the ground roots of
Yeah.
everything and getting a chance to hear it all. So, but yes, thank you for your time. All right, so there'll be no action on item agenda number 6. Amy, would it be okay if we skip forward to 19? We'll maybe hop back to. Are you? Where's that one?
You can call the agenda as you deem.
Are you here for the fiscal audit?
Yes.
Guess. So, let's jump forward to the, let me find it again.
19, I think, is the SCADA.
Yeah, 19's the SCADA, 13, let's go to 13 and then we'll go to you guys so you can get home with the rest of us. Will stay here and hash it out. Okay, so item agenda number 13, consideration, discussion, and possible action to accept the 2023-2024 fiscal audit report presented by ANCO Reconciliation Services, PLLC.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm here to present the audit report.
We are a relatively new firm, but I have been involved through my work in another firm here at the city. And this year really was not a lot different, simply because you have a very adequate internal control system, and I always like to mention that when I come in, because your accounting department has done a very good job. The city manager supports the accounting department, and it really makes a difference in the city that they're well supported and take care of the internal controls that they should be taking care of. So you will take a look at page 1 in your audit report. That is the independent auditor's report, and this report includes both your PWA and the city, all of the funds. This particular report, if you look at the second paragraph, it tells you that these financial statements are presenting fairly in all material respects the financial position of your government activities, business type activities, in each major fund. So this is also known as a clean opinion, which is the highest level of opinion you receive on an audit. And then I'd like to call your attention to page 2, the last paragraph on that. This report refers to another report that we write because you're a governmental entity. We audit you in accordance with government auditing standards. And that report appears on page 29 at the very back. And this is your internal control report. And what this basically is telling you that your internal controls, we don't audit your internal controls, but we do review them and obtain an understanding of them. And we have not seen anything that would cause us any concern, so there are no audit findings regarding internal controls. All right, and then if you'll skip back up towards the front to page 3. This is your overall statement of position for the city. The governmental activities column includes things like your general fund and everything that rolls up into the governmental side. And then the business type activities are a combination of the PWA and PETA that are together, and or PIDA, however you pronounce that. And you have a strong net position of total of $13,896,072. And if you take a look at page 4, you will notice on the right-hand column, that's also the total column, you have increased your net position from the prior year of approximately $297,920. There, on page 3, this is a breakdown of your individual governmental type funds. Those are combined together for the total on the right-hand column that flows up to the overall financial statements. And then you have, it's called a statement of revenues and expenditures, but it's basically your income statement. That's on page 6. And on this particular income statement, because this doesn't include some of the items that are included for governmental-wide financial statements, this fund has reduced about $134,000. But that's not anything that really should cause alarm, simply because you have a good fund balance, and they do vary from year to year. It depends upon how many, programs that you've done with the city, how many projects you're working on. So that does vary quite a bit. And then on page 8, this is the balance sheet or statement of net position of your enterprise funds, which include the Public Works Authority and the Industrial Development Authority. It has a good net position of a total of $7,618,930. And then if you look at the next page, you can see that that has increased by about $113,000 in the total enterprise fund column. And then the best statement to look at is on page 10, because that is your cash flow statement. And that shows you how your cash flows through the city. You basically have got a decrease in cash of about $100,000 in the Public Works Authority and about $1,000 in the Developmental Authority. And then the next page, page 11, starts your notes. And I'm sure when you want to go to sleep in the evening, you might want to read your notes because that may help. So I won't go through those individually, but I'd be more than happy to take questions on anything that's in this report right now.
You did a very good job on the report.
Thank you.
So does Rachel.
Yes, they do. Like I said, your accounting department, in my career, this is one of my most favorite audits because I know there's been a great deal of attention paid to controls. And you follow the process, which is very refreshing.
We love her.
Some cities don't do that.
We appreciate
We
those.
really do. And she knows how to tell Bob no.
A lot.
I learned that on the first day on the job. Commissioners, do you have any questions or any statements?
Thank you.
Will I need to stay for the other meeting, or will this take care of both entities?
I think this takes care of both. I don't think it's on the other one, is it?
Okay, I didn't know, just wanted
We,
to check.
We'll make a motion to approve it, and then,
All right.
Because you covered them both.
Yes, I covered both, and it is both, is in the report. This is your entire city. And at any time, if you have any questions, Rachel knows how to find me. So I'll be happy to visit with
our
you.
biggest loss would be in the public works, or as far as spending.
Yes, and I really wouldn't call it a loss. It's just what happens is, you have a large construction project coming up. So you had some fees that were related to those construction projects that you expended to get ready to do those. Well, the way those flow through accounting statements is it's going to just lower what your bottom line. But then the next year, you might recoup some of that because some of the revenues that would be related like that with grant money or things like that coming in will then offset that in the next year. So really one of the best scenarios you can look at is look at a trend. And I can tell you, seeing this, you're positive in your change in net position on your statement of activities, and I think that's a plus. You're going positive on your government-wide statements. Some statements will have a little less, some will have a little more, because you do interfund transfers, and that's why you look at the top two statements, because those have a tendency to balance out.
Thank you for explaining things so well.
Yes, thank you.
Happy to.
I'm going to speak on behalf of Rachel to say that it has been available at times when, like, we really needed to know something right away, and she's
Oh, yeah,
always.
we call the auditor if there's a question about it.
Yeah. So
We want to know
we
before
appreciate
she
her.
shows up with her briefcase.
Yes.
So,
Thank you for the idea.
is this like the third year in a row or more that we've had a clean?
I think, yeah.
I think you've had a clean opinion for the last 5-6 years,
Good deal.
so.
Thank you so
We have
much.
had a couple of audit findings, but they were relatively insignificant compared to what they could be.
Gotcha.
So,
You did a good job.
thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Ann.
Commissioners, anybody?
think it's
Motion to accept the 2023-2024 physical audit report by Ankle.
I second it.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. All right, so we're gonna do a little hopscotch again. We're gonna go down to, thank you, ma'am. Be safe traveling home. We're gonna skip down to 19. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to accept proposal from Reed Services Unlimited for wastewater treatment plant, the SCADA project, in the amount of $79,109.74, utilizing $61,462.03 from ARPA funds, with remaining balance of $17,647.71 to be used from the general funds.
My watch updated today and it is driving me nuts.
Right.
This would be, David Reed is here and Jason Horton are both.
You guys doing?
Both here to explain a little more in depth than I'm able. Mr. Reed speaks way above my head. But this is basically, SCADA is the program that controls our plant. There's PLCs, logic controllers, which he has. So there's kind of a program in the background, and then the program tells these things what to do.
Can I draw on that board?
Absolutely.
People always like, what's a SCADA? What's a SCADA, you know?
By the way,
Love it
thanks for
because-
coming tonight.
Oh, you're welcome. I do this all the time. I got about 25 cities to take care of. So, in your wastewater plants, you have things like blowers, you got valves, motors, all the equipment that makes that plant function. Okay, all that stuff is wired to what we call PLCs, programmable logic controllers. They were made by NASA years ago. This is the style you currently have. That is a PLC. Now they get big. These are cards that you plug in, and these are where the wires terminate, okay? There's different cards for like level sensors, DO sensors, 120 volt, 24 volt, whatever. I write the program in this guy, which is called ladder logic, that actually controls your plant. So I am the guy that makes your plant and water plants function. Lift stations, the whole 9 yards, okay? This one is the old 500 platform. You have 7 of these. We cannot buy these anymore. They went obsolete in March. They've been around for 25, 30 years almost. Yeah, you're not the only one. You feel lucky. I just gave Bethany a bid of $250,000, so that just for the water side. Now, you're actually gonna look at their wastewater that me and Jason's been working on for 2 years that was the one that was in the news. So this is what you currently have. It's not gonna die tomorrow. I ain't gonna say it's gonna die next week, but these are subject to lightning and power surges. If something happens to any of these cards or this guy, sooner or later, right now the only way you can buy them is used on eBay. So that's kind of where you stand. If this guy dies, your plant quits working and you staff it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and hopefully your operators are smart enough to go turn this valve on at this time and this valve off at this time, and that's how you run it in manual.
Is that what's in that little room?
There's several cabinets around. Like I said, you got 7 of these. Okay? These are all over the place. They're in your sludge building, they're in your headworks, they're in that main cabinet just east of the building.
We have 7 of them?
Yes, ma'am.
We need 7 or we need more?
No, we don't need no more. We're gonna replace them now. This is what they've replaced them with. Now, this is just a brain and a power supply. The cards plug on and stack. Of course, the way that America's got, it used to be a nice steel frame, and now it's plastic and you clip it in. So, welcome to America, right? This is the new 5000 platform, okay? I still write the code in this that makes your plant function. Sure would be nice to take this program, wouldn't it? And dump it in here and be good to go? No, can't do that. Totally different platform. So your programs, as far as the PLCs, have to be totally rewritten, okay?
You do the programming.
I am the program, I'm the integrator.
So every time on my paper, On my paper
I'm
here.
the guy. I
where it
am
says
Reed
program.
Services, I am
Okay.
David, and that's it.
All right,
Yes, ma'am.
just making me understand, thank you.
This is hardware,
Gotcha.
okay? And then there's the programming, okay? This is the PLC side. You don't have to have a SCADA to run a plant or a water plant if it's written properly. I could take a chopping axe out there if it's written properly and chop up your computer, and your plant should stay running at the settings that it's currently at. That's the way we design them, fail safe, okay? Because we don't want to flow sewage on the ground because you get in trouble and it's very nasty. So that's the PLCs. It kind of controls everything, right? So then you have over here, you got your SCADA, okay? Your SCADA is a supervisory computer that is Big Brother watching, that allows operators, whoever, to change settings, okay? Now, I was originally called in with a problem with y'all's plant. Whoever did it, I don't know if Haynes did it or whatever, back then, they wrote logarithms in that PLC. You cannot do that. So if you change one thing in your plant, like the blower setting, it changes the whole thing. That is horrible because there's so many variables: temperature, water temperature, ammonia. You know, somebody could dump something in your sewer system and affect that. So what we do when I write them, these guys are the licensed people that run your plant, that taste the jar test, that reports to DEQ. So I make sure they have the ability to change all that. And they do, especially from summer to fall. It's a big change in all of them because the bugs get to where they don't want to eat near as much. They may have to stretch the blowers because oxygen. I mean, a lot of people think, oh, we pour chemicals to all these sewer plants. No, it's all bacteria. And all we do is pump massive amounts of oxygen. It does its thing, and of course these guys do adjustments. That's Jason's job. I do know how to run them, and I am the guy that usually do run them, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, they're the guys that do the jar test that says, oh, we need to do this, we don't have enough of this kind, you know. But we can talk the same language, especially me and Jason. We've been working with
We've had to buy bacteria before, haven't we?
Yes.
We've had to buy some bacteria type.
Oh, yeah, we
If you
just did.
If you kill a plant out, you can either reseed it from another plant. We had to do that 2 or 3 times.
We just recently cleaned the SBRs, and by doing so, that made us, our bacteria was very young at that time, so we had to get some older bacteria in to start taking care of it.
Okay, so you got your PLCs, they run it, right? So if this guy dies, it ain't near as bad as if he dies. If he dies, you got people sitting there turning switches on and off until you get it fixed, okay? This is nothing but a computer, guys. I've got a bigger monitor if you wanted to see it, but I've actually pulled Bethany up live on my notebook. So this is Bethany's plant that me and Jason brought from the dead that made the news 2 years ago. But this is a SCADA computer. It is live, so you're seeing real time what is actually taking place. Oh, did I lose my connection? But for operation controls, you know, these guys can, oh, I lost my connection. Yeah, I just lost my, hang on. I can do this on your phone. You can be sitting at McDonald's in Canada, Wyoming, California. Let's see. And if you want to look at another one, because I know you guys, Bob's been asking me about water systems. I'll pull this thing up for you. I've got 13 like that. I control it right now.
Dig into it, and I can send you what it is.
I'm sorry, it's my big nagging.
Well, a lot of people don't know what SCADAs are, and they're really help because they
I'm not sure I'm understanding.
help you reduce on manpower, especially. You know, come on, log in. They usually reduce manpower. You can staff right now. Instead of having 10 people,
We can tell them
3.
This is what he's looking at right now. Any valve on there changes.
If they need to check on it to their phone, just like I'm doing, you know, so there's a bunch of them, so.
No, you can keep the picture. I can actually screenshot that and send it to you. Yes, ma'am. I'll screenshot that.
So this would be the SCADA.
This is a true SCADA. This is what I write and develop. This is actually a SCADA.
This is what you showed me that one time when we were out there.
Yeah, I'll show you a bigger one, and you guys probably look at it, because me and Bob's already been entertaining the water side of this thing, which you guys desperately need, and I've been servicing you guys for several years. Y'all just never met me. So.
Send it to your phone.
You're as bad as I am.
I have way too many passwords if you want to know. And you talk about Windows and update. I hate Windows. They update stuff quits working. I actually got so sick of because I text message alarms and stuff if something goes wrong. I finally got tired of them and then put my own email server in just because they kept changing and it quit working. But like here for an operator or something, let me go
That's
log.
pretty cool, actually.
Let me go log back in because we're logged out, so you can't do anything. This is part of your, and then I put virus software also. I like to do virtual machines, which is a computer inside of a computer, which I will do for you guys. I know your IT guy had concerns about backup. A virtual computer is a computer inside of a computer. You save it like a file. So everything in this computer is virtualized. This hardware dies, you just take the file and then make it back up and run. So now I've got servers that I do that with, like Mustang. I'll show you Mustangs here in a minute. But valves on and off from center here. Okay, so there's valve control setups as far as either fill levels, the react time, how long they want to beat it with. I don't know. They've been having trouble because they lost a motive pump on 4. It may be stretched longer. Yeah, I see it's 120 minutes. Because they don't have a motor pump circulating. I turn all the chlorine on, turn all the chlorine off. I record every 15 minutes of anything you want. So if you've got DO meters, CL2, CL17s, levels, we record, store them to a database. They'll be there for a very long time. I can go back 15 years in some of these places and pull data up. Every 15 minutes is actually a legal document that you can use for DEQ and help on your reporting.
Oh, yeah, because I'm tired of carrying DEQ papers around.
Yeah, well, what we're working with, I'm working with right now, since I control the database. I don't let nobody touch my databases, because that is like a sovereign thing, you know.
Right.
We're working with the guy to upload it to the cloud, and he's building the sheets to generate your, what do you call them, MROs?
MORs.
MORs.
Monthly operating reports.
So every city has an MOR of certain things they have to report. Well, they can pull that data and it will populate it and print it off.
Okay,
Okay, so.
that makes,
Which we're currently under a consent order with 2 WIN to do a monthly MOR.
Okay.
So we're actually under consent order here for MORs.
okay.
Now, when I pulled this up,
The data's going to them.
this is SBR plant. We do about 3.1 million in 24 hours. Okay, so this plant is 4 times, 5 times the size of you guys. You guys are 0.5.
0.26 is the max I've had.
Yeah, but I think your capacity is 0.5.
0.5 is the closest.
This is very similar. You got headworks, some kind of grid handling system. These are your SBRs, decant valves, your blowers. Of course, we had furniture on water here. These are blowers for your CL2 and your SO2 for burning. You've got some more stuff in the back, like recovery lagoons and stuff like that. They do have an FED. They're currently working on getting it clean. We're going to put a 50 horsepower pump in there, so sooner or later there'll be another pump here that they'll be able to control and bring it back. We are controlling it right now through structure 14. We got a floating pump that we've had for 2 years because they had no way of bringing anything that they shoved to the FEB back. And FEB is a flow equalization basin. Heavy duty rails. If you got infiltration into your sewer system, that's where the bypass water goes. Your plant can only produce so much, and then we'll pull it back and treat it and send it down the road later on.
Is our lagoon doing better?
The lagoon is doing fine. However, with the system that's there, there's no way to utilize the FEB.
Okay.
Because when it gets to the point that it can overflow and go to the FEB, it starts going haywire at headwork, stating that there's too much flow coming through the plant, and it does that algorithm thing. It changes.
So all of this on our agenda right here is gonna help balance some of that out as
I will
well.
handle all
It's all gonna be like a cause and effect.
Yes. If I had to estimate, I'd say it'd probably fix 85 to 90% of our problems.
Really?
and improve your quality of water.
That's just numbers off the
Your
top of my head. so don't
DEQ
measure.
should go way down. I mean, this is what we do we target things and correct a lot of things. Like I said, Bethany was the one that made the news 2 years ago that ran out the road. We brought it from a dead stick. I mean,
Those are the
dead stick.
kind of the things I was
Yeah.
asking Bob over the weekend about. It's like, it felt like
Frankly, you
this
were
was
the
gonna
only
like
one. I just waited till midnight.
help fix a lot of things, like a mic drop.
I guess you could,
So
you
I
could
work
use
with
that
kids.
analogy.
Come on, I work with
Yes.
kids.
I mean, but Absolutely, there will be a lot of issues, like say, for instance, we have a problem with ammonia. That will help lower our ammonia, and that's kind of an indicator of bacteria being healthy. If you can keep your ammonia down, your bacteria is gonna be a little bit healthier. That earthy smell that you smell at the plant, I don't know if any of y'all have been out there recently. However,
It's healthy.
you should not smell sewer.
No, you should
Unless
smell
you're in
dirt.
headworks where the raw water's coming in, you should not smell sewer.
I did 3 years ago. I don't think I've smelt it
It
in
means
quite
it's
a while.
septic and it's not treated right.
And you step out there now, the only place you will smell that is if you're by headworks. You will not smell it anywhere else in the plant.
Okay.
Bob, you need to come look at this, because this is where you want to head. This is next year's agenda.
I sent him a screenshot of it.
This is actually the city of Mustang. We've got 13 water wells.
Oh, you jumping over to that?
Yeah, that are 13 miles away. I control them with radios. So I turn them on and off with a little FM 5-watt radio. Some of them are, stations today, they're a better.
SCADA.
A lot of these mom and pops are using these little round dishes. Those are called nano beams and power beams. And they're literally air Ethernet, just like you would plug your computer in the back. But there's 338 feet maximum on wired Ethernet. This thing, I've got some of them go 14 miles. Like Clinton, I go 14 miles to their water plant. Because their water plant is 14 miles at Canute, and I go from Clinton all the way out to Canute for their water plant. But, this is where Bob wants to hit. It shows all the levels in your tires at all times. It shows your pump stations.
Let me just.
Yes,
stop
ma'am.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, I should have stopped him. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
You can stay on agenda.
Okay, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
was, curiosity was being.
since I had it pulled up, I didn't show it
I'm
to
not
him.
saying that we don't want to put you on the agenda to explain that at another time.
Yeah, well, I was just like this, sorry.
That's a SCADA system too. It's just a water SCADA system.
Okay, all right.
So there you go. That's what a SCADA system basically does for you.
Wow, I really appreciate you coming tonight.
Sure, no problem. A lot of people, they don't understand that this hardware runs the plant. That is nothing but a computer that is, all the screens and everything are developed and they're written to retrieve, record data, and then allow humans to change settings in here to manipulate their plant. So that's basically how it works.
And thanks for bringing visuals.
I tear them out every day.
Commissioners, any questions?
He answered all mine.
Mine too. Bob, I'm sorry, I probably nagged him a lot this
Nah,
week.
you're good,
so-
guys. I'll come meet with you personally if you want to see more.
Oh, this stuff was kind of cool. All right, Commissioners, nobody has any more questions, comments? Anything? Bob, did you have anything else?
No, I would recommend moving forward with the project and accepting the proposal.
Can I make one statement since the lawyers and everything are here?
Absolutely.
All my hardware, all these computers come from Japan and China. I'm not pressed at anybody to say anything, but if Trump ends up getting his 20 and 30% tariffs in, it will affect the cost of this hardware.
It will go up.
It will go up. Your project could look, if it went up, if he did a 30% tariff on them, you could jump another $12,000. Just FYI, I've already started warning all of my other customers because I got some of them that'll go up 50 grand, so.
It's commendable.
Yeah.
And Mayor, I would add to the,
Call him tomorrow.
I would recommend accepting the proposal from Reed Services Unlimited for wastewater treatment plant at those amounts with, how do you word the contract approved by the city attorney?
Subject to contract approved by city attorney.
Okay. You got it, you want me to get it?
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal for Reed Services Unlimited for wastewater treatment plant SCADA, utilizing the amount proposed, all by approval of the city attorney.
I second that.
Mayor,
Yep.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
Go forth and conquer.
Right? See, did I miss it? Okay. Back to item agenda number 8. What time is it? Holy smokes. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to open bids for 2013 Ford Taurus Interceptor police vehicle, VIN number ending 8034.
We did not receive any bids.
Pass. So we're going to pass on number 9 as well.
Well, you have to call it and let him say that again.
Do what? Okay.
Oh, is that the same car?
That's the one to award the bids.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can skip that.
You can skip that,
And
I'm
go to
sorry.
10.
So it's a different car. Yep, good one.
Number 10, consideration, discussion, and possible action to authorize staff to, okay, that passed as well.
No.
No, okay, this is a different one. Action to authorize staff to list for sale 2013 Ford Taurus Interceptor, VIN number ending in 8034. So since we didn't receive any bids, we're authorizing staff to list it. So,
Yes.
commissioners, anybody? I make a motion to authorize staff to list for sale 2013 Ford Taurus Interceptor, VIN number ending in 8034.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 11, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 30-2024, a resolution approving the City of Perkins, Oklahoma abatement of nuisance fee schedule.
This is, on our nuisance fee schedule, if we do abatements and things, we charge for the services and the equipment based on the FEMA schedule that they put out. They update it every 2 years. So this is incorporating those updates.
Commissioners, anyone have anything to say? I make a motion to approve Resolution 30-2024, a resolution approving the City of Perkins, Oklahoma abatement of nuisance fee schedule.
Second.
Sarah say second?
I think we said it at the same time.
Mayor?
You guys sound like girls.
Yes.
Vice Mayor? Sarah?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Okay. Number 12, consideration, discussion, are you guys heading out?
If y'all need anything, this is just bothering me. I'm sorry, I had OCD.
Yeah, that's good.
You too. Consideration.
Sorry, guys, thank you guys.
Yes, appreciate you.
Okay, thank y'all so much.
Consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve fiscal year 2025 firefighting equipment and gear grant application to Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry in the amount of $55,439. Joe.
Mayor, it's a new program.
Okay.
Come out with this year, the state legislature, and I wanted to apply for a cabin chassis to replace the current one,
Okay.
the 2007. I think I have it listed there on the grant.
Yes. Yes, we've done, you've come before us before to go send it off to Pawnee to get fixed before, right? Is that the same?
Yeah, that's a different truck.
It's a different truck?
And if awarded, I don't know how I'll place, but if awarded, we'll have to come back before you for county money to finish it.
Oh, okay. Well, we want to make sure you guys have the equipment that you, and if we can get a grant to do it, bonus. Commissioners, anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve fiscal year 2025 firefighting equipment and gear grant application to Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry in the amount of $55,439.
I'll second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. So, thanks for waiting patiently.
No, it's fine.
See you Thursday night. All right, number 14, consideration, discussion, and possible action to renew contract with Ewing Law Office, PLLC, for provision of advisory and litigation services to city and city authorities, boards, and commissions as city attorney. Bob?
Can I say something before you start? I wanted to explain to you the reason that when Bob's contract is up, you go into executive session, and when mine is up, you don't. And it's because of the way the Open Meetings Act allows you to go into executive session to talk about employees which Bob is, and I'm not. Since put you in a situation where you don't get to go talk about me behind my back. But I can leave the room. Now, you're still on, and I can still watch it later. But but I'm glad to leave the room. So, this was the year too that we made you leave the room when we do executive session.
Yeah.
Decisions.
If you'd like, I can leave the room.
I don't have,
I don't think there's any changes to the
The
contract.
contract is the same as
if
the
I,
last 2 years, 3 years.
I don't have anything negative to say about it.
I do.
I know you
But,
do. Fight like siblings.
Now, sometimes I get frustrated, but I think Tammy does a very good job and truly has the best interest of the city of Perkins in mind. And I recommend renewing the contract.
I think that could be a really good compliment that I hope that any one of us would get. We get frustrated as staff or commission or opinions and ideas, but when we look at that person and consider the fact that I think they have the best interest at heart for our city and for what needs to happen and to protect our backs from things. So, commissioners, do you have any comments or?
Tammy does a good job of keeping us out of trouble, and I appreciate that.
That is true. We're on top of stuff.
Oh, bam. I'm gonna knock on wood, you must well.
Thank you for everything that you do.
I'll make a motion to renew contract with Ewing Law Office, PLLC, for provisions, adversary and litigation service to the city and the city authorities, boards, and commissions as city attorney.
I second it.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
Can I just say that as city attorney, if I was working with a city manager who didn't get frustrated with me, I would not be doing my job. So.
I'm gonna leave it right
Each
there.
other.
That's enough of that.
Oh, didn't you?
Could have said
Okay,
something
we can
about
move on.
doing very well, but
Bob, she got the last word in.
yeah, I know.
Veronica? Was that Bob taking my road? Focus.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. Number 15, consideration, discussion, and possible action to adopt ordinance 511, an ordinance amending Title I, Administration, Chapter 9, Employee Retirement, Article C, Employee Retirement System, and declaring an emergency.
Can we,
Yes, I had a question on it, but go ahead.
we're occasionally requested by our employee retirement system, which is is it a state-run system or nonprofit? It represents lots and lots of cities to amend the plan. And what I've realized is that in the past, we've approved an ordinance amending the defined benefit plan, and that goes in our ordinance book. And then the next time we amend an ordinance, you approve an ordinance amending the defined contribution plan, and then that takes the place. So we keep substituting one for the other, and the reality is we have both plans. And so to kind of clean this up, we've added the defined benefit plan to the ordinance, although it's not brand new to us. And it's kind of every other time it's been in our ordinances. So this is just kind of cleaning it up to get it to where both of those are showing. And because it's complicated because of the ordinances they send us to pass, we've added a section that says, in the future, you can do this by resolution. We don't have to amend our ordinance every time.
Oh, okay.
So that will make it simpler.
Oh, that's good. Commissioners, anybody? No.
You still have your question?
It's on it's on a different one.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 511.
I'll second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
Number 16, consideration, discussion, and possible action on declaring an emergency on ordinance 511. I make a motion to declare an emergency on ordinance 511.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
17, consideration, discussion, and possible action to adopt the updated City of Perkins Personnel Manual.
This is
Did that last month.
well, we did, but this is
A new amendment.
federal law allows a full-time employee to be 32 hours to receive benefits. So basically what that would do is incorporate this into our personnel manual. So that there could potentially be an employee for a position that was less than 40 hours, but 32 would do it, and it would be full-time. And it would allow us to pay benefits and the perks that people are looking for when they're seeking employment. So while we don't have anything necessarily identified right now, we wanted it in there, and then we would handle whether it's 32, 34, 36, whatever hours per week would be in a job description, but it would allow us to legally pay benefits. And then the leave time is calculated, it would be prorated. So if a 40-hour employee receives 1 hour a week or whatever leave, as an example, the 35-hour employee that's also full-time would receive, 0.85 hours per week or something, whatever that math works out to. And Rachel could math all that.
Anybody? We good? Good. I make a motion to adopt the updated City of Perkins Personnel Manual.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 18, consideration, discussion, and possible action to accept proposal from Richards Construction and Paving to seal and stripe the parking lot at the Oklahoma Territorial Plaza at a cost of $14,500 utilizing American Rescue Plan Act or ARPA funds.
This is a carryover item from last month when we tabled or didn't take any action. So this is the lowest and best bid that was obtained, and staff would recommend moving forward with Richards Paving to seal and stripe the parking lot at the plaza.
Thank you for looking into the companies.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Anybody?
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal from Richards Construction and Paving Seal in the amount of $4,500 using the ARPA funds.
14.
What?
You said 4,000.
Oh, 14,500, sorry.
Second.
I like your number better.
Mayor?
Yes, sorry.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes.
I was like getting Commissioner Henniger's number better. Number 20, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select a candidate for Board of Adjustment. One open position, term ending June 30th, 2025. None?
We haven't received any.
Okay. Moving forward, 21, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select a candidate for the Board of Adjustment, one position, term ending on June 30th, 2027. Okay. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select candidates for Library Board, 2 open advisory members, terms ending December 31st, 2025.
We did not receive any.
Okay.
If you go to the next agenda item, I'll take care of it. I have one thing under new business.
Students ask me that all the time. How do you read my mind? New business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda. Bob?
I found out today, we did receive at least one letter of interest for the Park and Rec Board. We did, right? We did not put it on this agenda. It didn't make this agenda because the other candidates are serving out their term, which ends December 31st. So the Park and Rec positions and any other we receive will be on the January 14th meeting.
Good.
Answer that question. Okay. Number 24, I make a motion that we adjourn the City of Perkins regular meeting for Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. That was a bite.
I almost second that one.
You have the next one?
Okay.
Hold on, I got
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
and Veronica.
Yes. I always want to be a school teacher before Christmas break. I'm tired. Here we go. Do this. Call to order, roll call, and establish a quorum for the Perkins Public Works Authority regular meeting Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. Amy?
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica.
Yes. Number 2, consideration and action on consent agenda. Commissioners, anyone?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Approve.
Still second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica.
Yes. Number 4, new business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda. Nothing? Number 5, I make a motion that we adjourn the Perkins Public Works Authority regular meeting Tuesday, December 10th, 2024.
I'll second that.
Run to where I don't jump when you do that.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yep.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Sweet time. What is your name?
She's gonna do it again.